clock.
What are you on about?
I'm just saying, have a look at the time on that clock. Now, call it a lad if you like.
You're never happy, are you? You're nenever happy unless you're on about something.
Well, I must have spent most of my life delirious since I married you, then. Flaming delirious.
I will save it for them. They upset you. Save it for them.
Oh, don't you worry yourself. I'm going to have satisfaction.
And give me a rest.
Give you a rest?
Yeah.
Look, it were hardly coming up to 12 when you come in for your dinner, and now it's nearly gone 3. Mind you, I do understand your difficulty. I mean, what with your dinner breaks and your cups of tea and your flitting in and out the rovers and putting your bets on and filling your bucket everywhere, you're hard pushed to find time to fit in a rest, aren't you? And what are you doing with that shoe?
I'm pushing a poker down it, aren't I?
What for? Is there a nail stood up?
It pinches my little toe.
Well, you'll not fix it with the poker.
I'm pushing the leather out.
Ah, Stan, them's your new shoes. What do you want to go and wear your new shoes to work for?
They let in me other ones.
Well, it don't matter, it's not raining. Oh, you'll have now decent.
Come here.
Look, what you buy 'em for if they pinch you?
They didn't pinch in shop.
They must have done.
They didn't. Otherwise I wouldn't have bought them.
But you have bought 'em.
Well, then why did you buy that blouse? Ridiculous, isn't it? You can't talk, can you?
Oh, ridiculous, is it?
Yeah. Then why are you taking it back?
I'm taking it back. Why is it ridiculous?
Now listen.
Go on, I want to know. Tell me why it's ridiculous.
It's a kid's blouse. Not for a woman of your age. Well, isn't that right? Well, then why are you taking it back?
I'm taking it back because it's not a satisfactory garment.
Ah.
And if you've got any comments to make about mutton or lamb or aught else like that... Oh, now look what you've made me do.
Can I try that green one on again, love?
Certainly, madam. Oh, don't chuck 'em down like that, love.
I'm just not sure.
I think you were right with the first one, madam.
You know, I think you got something there.
Yes, well, always trust your instincts. Give her whatever it was and take her money. I've told you before, first thing they pick, 9 times out of 10, that's the thing they'll take.
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't know, but I do, and I'm taking the trouble to teach you this job. Now, are you interested or are you not?
Well, as a job, what do you get out of it? Set varicose veins and a detailed knowledge of the human armpit.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know, I feel down.
Well, do you want a couple of aspirins?
No.
Well, pull your knickers up then and let's have a bit of life out of you.
Oh, here's my friend with a smock. And don't let her fool you, she's been wearing it.
Oh, afternoon, Mrs. Howard. I'm glad you're here. Oh, I'm very pleased to see you, Mrs. Ogden. Can I help you? Yes, I think you can, Mrs. Howard. I think you can. Well, do let me try. It's just that your assistant doesn't understand the first principles of trade. Oh, well, she's only new, Mrs. Ogden. Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I thought it's no use bothering. I'll come back when there's somebody in authority. I see. This was bought here.
I told you she brought it back and I said she
Miss
couldn't.
Potter, please. Mrs. Ogden, is this garment defective in any way? Oh, no, not the garment itself. No, it's just the style. It's not satisfactory. I see. It's not been worn at all.
Oh, yes, it has. You've been wearing it.
It's been worn in this shop, just to try it on.
You've
that's
been
all.
seen wearing
Miss
it.
Potter, please. I've known Mrs. Ogden a very long time, a lot longer than you. Ah, well, it's been a good few years, there's no denying. Yes, and if she says it's not been worn, then it's not been worn, and that's good enough for me. Like you say, she's new. She doesn't understand the first principles. Not got much idea of good manners, neither. No, but Mrs. Ogden, be fair. She's only obeying the instructions. Instructions? Yes. You see, it says up there, we regret no money can be refunded or sale goods exchanged. Ah, well. Now then, what's this marked down in the sale? Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't notice whether it was or not. It's not a point I'd stick on, Mrs. Ogden. Oh, well, of course, if you say it was marked down, then I'll accept that. Oh, well, I think Mrs. Ogden's been very reasonable, Gail. Very reasonable indeed. You can exchange it for anything else in the shop. Oh, very reasonable yourself. Anything else, that is, with the same mark on, and that keeps our records straight, you see. What mark? Well, you see, when we have goods that haven't been worn in the shop, we put a special mark on. It's sort of in the shape of an iron, only brown, see, like that. Now, if you can find anything else with a mark like this on in the shop, you can exchange it. You trying to make a monkey out of me? Now, would I do that, Hilda? Because if you're trying to say that's been ironed, it's the first I've heard of it. Oh, come on now, Hilda. Be fair. We've all had our fun. What kind of way is that to talk to a customer? Gail, I think that customer of yours is in trouble. Look, am I supposed to be talking to myself or what? Oh. I've not done, you know. I've not done by a long chalk. Look here, Elsie Tanner, or whatever you call yourself. I'm a customer in this shop, and I want my rights. Oh, go home, Hilda. Right, that does it. I want to speak to the management. I am the management. I'll talk to the captain, not the ship's captain. Oh, not on anything.
I don't think so.
Well, if she has, she'll pay for it. Now go and give her a key and tell her to shove it down her back. Look, you're not going to duck out of this, you know. I want to speak to the owner. Oh, that's smashing, as long as you stop bothering me. Now go. I want to speak to the owner, and I'm stopping here until I do. Well, you'll have a long wait then. She's not due until 5 to 6. Right, I'll come back. And don't think you've got off with this. Don't think that for 1 minute. No danger. I'll be back. You see, love, sometimes this job is worth it just for the amusement you get. How's you know?
How's he shaping then, Tilly?
Oh, he's all right. If we get the work in, we'll keep him on.
A bit thin, is it?
Aye. It's not so much the work, though. It's the flipping overheads. You know, it cost me a week's wages to keep that flipping office warm now, at least.
Well, it will do on electricity.
Yeah, but I remember the days not too long ago that if I was clearing 20 quid a week, I thought it was Christmas. I shut the gate for a week.
Ah, well, that's why you're not Charlie Claw. That's been your downfall.
I don't want to be flipping Charlie Claw. Hey, are we getting any booze in here, darling? Oh, no, the taxman. Now he thinks I am Charlie Claw.
You do all right.
Get your elbows off my clean bar while I inspect them. Let's see your hands. He'll pass, just because we're having no scruffs in here.
You'll be empty then.
Oh, no, we shan't. This bar's been bottomed. Not by Hilda, by me. And only clean people can drink in it.
What's it all in aid of?
Mrs. Walker feels that this super brain contest puts her little pub in the full glare of the public eye. Don't argue.
I wouldn't dream of it. Give us 2 pints.
And by amazing coincidence, 2 pints.
Tonight, is it?
It is. Are you coming to see me?
Likely.
You'll not be disappointed.
No, but you fellas, self-employed, you do all right.
If you think so, you want to try it,
It's
mate.
a bit late now. But this young lad, he's not going to push you out of a job, is he?
What do you mean?
Well, this bright spark I've got working with it, they must think I'm daft. Well, I must be. I must be. Teaching him how to do my job.
You reckon?
Well, the writing's on the wall, isn't it?
But they're not going to give you the push just like that.
Nah, they won't call it that. They call it something fancy, phased retirement, something like that. Same thing.
Well, how long's this been on the card?
Well, I was one of the negotiators, wasn't I? New staffing levels, they called it. I never thought it would work out like this.
So you think you're going to be...
Yeah, out of a job, yeah.
Well, at least there's one consolation. You get a bit of redundancy pay, don't you?
Yeah, that's not the point, Len.
No, I know it isn't. But at least you've got some, capital to fall back on, haven't you? Yeah, it's funny, that. You being a lifelong trade unionist.
Well, I can say I get no flipping sympathy from you.
Well, what do you want flipping sympathy for, anyway? Nah, you're all right with the post office. You got a shop for life there.
Well, this rate will stay open, but nobody will get rich.
Oh, I thought you were rich enough.
I'm not in business to get any poorer, dear. And that's only too easy.
Oh, I know. I was married to a bankrupt once upon a time.
Weren't we all, dear? I'd call it the secret of my success. How's, Gail getting on?
Oh, she's getting the hang of it.
I've had such trouble with girls in the past, dear.
Oh, she'll be all right. She'll do it. Look, do you mind if I get off?
Oh, you carry on.
Before I go, she had a bit of trouble with a customer this morning. She was quite right, mind you. She refused to exchange something, and I stood by her. I don't want to bore you with the details, but in case she comes back, the customer, that's what it's all about. Name of Mrs. Ogden.
Is she likely to...
To come back and see you again? Well, she said she would, but doesn't look like it now.
Thanks for the warning. How did those Swedish pants go?
Quite good, really.
I'll order some more if I can get them. She can see we're closed.
Oh, it's this woman. She wants to change her smock. She's been back twice already, but it's got scorch marks on it.
Yes, I've been told. All right, let her in. Better now than when we're full.
You needn't bother telling me you're closed, because I'm not coming
As a
back.
matter of fact.
Are you the lady what's the owner around here? You are the owner, are you? Because I don't want to waste my time.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You can tell me why I've been insulted in this shop. Insulted to my face. Mind you, I know that's the attitude these days. The customer's a nuisance. You don't have to tell me that.
Is it about a garment, dear?
There might be some people around here who'll put up with it, but I'm not one of them. I won't be called a liar, and I won't be made a fool of.
It doesn't sound at all like my stuff. and
No, you weren't here. Now, just tell me this. Is my money as good as anybody else's? Right, well, so's my customer.
Is this the garment, dear?
Yes. Now, I brought it back in the normal way. Oh, I don't want to take it out on you, because I try to be reasonable. But I've been outraged. Outraged! And I think the least I'm entitled to is an apology.
It's been worn, washed and ironed.
I'm talking about an apology.
And I'm talking about this, dear. I can't change it.
But there's a mark on it, a brown mark.
It's a scorch.
Well, it was there when I got it on. That's why I washed it, to see if I could get it out.
I'm sorry, dear. You'll get no apology and no exchange. So if you don't mind...
Oh, I see. Comes down from the top, does it? That's the attitude. Flog 'em any rubbish. Flog 'em any old rubbish. Yeah, well, I remember when there was a proper attitude in shops.
Yes, I'm sure your memory goes back a long way, dear.
Aye, there's folk round here got teeth longer.
Feel free, dear, to stand there as long as you like. Shout your head off.
Oh, all in it together, eh? Bunch of crooks, licensed to rob, fleece the public.
I've got a very good lawyer. I should leave off slander.
Oh, there's no slander. I'm not slandering anybody. If I say that you're employing people what have been added for shoplifting, that's not slander. Truth can't be slander. And if you didn't know that, well, you do now.
He's got a touch of the morosities.
What's the matter, Alf?
He's worrying about something that may never happen.
Well, that sounds sensible. I mean, if you know something's going to happen definitely, there's no point in worrying about it, is there?
Oh, you got something there.
Oh, you twisted mind. Hey, can we have him again, Betty,
Oh,
please?
not for me, Tom.
Oh, come on.
No, beer, I found it... Well, I can't sleep. Look, I'll see you.
He's in a funny mood.
He thinks he's up for the chop. Redundancy.
Oh.
So, are you buying?
Well, you win one, you lose one.
I'm not stopping. I just, did Irene get back on?
She did.
Oh.
She's coming tomorrow.
How do you mean, coming?
Well, she said, would you be back later? And when I said no, she said she'd come round.
Round at yard?
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, hey, you will watch the language, won't you? I mean, I'm just saying, she's not a pruder out, but she does not like language.
Well, what exactly was said to this Mrs. Ogden?
Nothing.
What kind of nothing?
Well, just that she couldn't change it. I mean, polite as I could.
You dealt with her, did you?
Yeah, well, Mrs. Howard did later when she got back. She said just the same as me.
By the way, there was some difficulty, wasn't there? You didn't have a reference from... Who was it?
Mark Britton.
Oh, yes.
With the fire, you know.
Yes. Well, surely they could have...
No, my personal file was destroyed.
But your boss could have given you a personal reference.
He'd gone to Salisbury, and Mrs. Howard said not to bother because she's had a word with Mr. Barlow.
Mr. who?
Mr. Barlow is community officer now, something like that.
Oh, he knows you, does he?
Yeah, well, you see...
Well, what is he exactly? Some kind of social worker?
More or less.
He's not a probation officer, that sort of thing.
No.
Now, don't get me wrong, dear, but have you ever,
What?
been in any trouble?
About what?
I mean, with the police. Have you ever been in court?
No.
Never?
No, and I'd like to know
It's all
why
right,
you-
dear. If what you've told me is true, you can forget I spoke.
Do you think she has, like, got anyone interested?
Well, you better ask her.
Well, you see, it's not for me.
Well, she'll still tell you.
Yeah, but it's a funny thing, but I'm no good at talking business.
No, but you'd like to find out behind her back if there was anybody.
No, not at all, not really. Well, not entirely.
Well, she'll be in the pub later.
I know. Hey, are you going round there later on?
Rovers?
They've got a quiz on.
Oh, thrilling.
You don't fancy it?
No, me and Gail might go out.
What, just the two of you, like?
Yeah.
You know something?
What?
Can't make you out at all.
Do you want that loaf?
No, I'm just cuddling it because I've mistaken it for a cat.
Well, give us 17 pence, we'll call it Tiddles.
And if it wouldn't distress you too much, I'd like half a pound of butter.
I'll kill that Hilda Ogden. I'll wring a flaming neck.
Well, what's she done now?
Trying to lose me job. Cow.
Well, what's she done?
Just because I wouldn't change that smock she'd been wearing and Elsie Howard made a fool of her, that's no reason to go telling lies.
Why, what's she say?
If you don't mind.
Tell Mrs. Matthews I've been up for shoplifting.
But she can't say that.
Well, she said something to make Mrs. Matthews ask questions.
But that's ridiculous. How can she say it?
I don't know, but she did. She makes me sick.
Wonderful neighbours. Now then, was it half a pound of butter you wanted?
Oh, yes, please.
Dear God, it's crowded in here.
Oh, it's got round at your back.
I've never seen any of them before.
It's this quiz that's on tonight. There's a big notice on the door, didn't you see it?
Oh, well, you know me.
You know what Deirdre does for your complaint?
What?
Puts her glasses on.
Ah, yes. Well, life is much nicer when you get to our age, when it's blurred. Isn't that so, Betty?
I'll tell you when I get there.
Oh, you'll be struck down, you. Well, can I have a gin and tonic, love? Hey, it's Bet's birthday today, you know.
Is it really?
Shall we be very kind and pretend we haven't noticed?
Well, I don't know where he is, Mrs. Walker.
Well, he should be here by now.
Well, don't fret. If he doesn't come, you can busk him.
Oh, no. Space travel and Manchester United are two of the very few subjects on which I can confidently claim to know absolutely nothing, apart from the fact they cause a lot of fuss, and I found them rather boring. Yes, Mr. Tatler. You want something?
No.
I thought you were tapping on the counter.
I were.
But you don't want anything?
No, I was just fidgeting. I don't want to get chucking my money away on it anymore, you know. When we started.
Oh, very soon.
Because I'm getting bored.
Mrs. Walker.
Yes?
Philip Lightfoot.
I thought you were never coming.
Are you doing the quiz?
Yes, that's right.
Ah, I'm in for it. And I'm interested in cheating.
I'm incorruptible.
You don't look it.
How are we going, then?
I'm not worried. I should be in it.
Well, you get nowhere complaining.
Herbert Siddle's got United.
Does he know as much as you?
Don't know. Well, we could go and find out, eh?
In the film Five Fingers, who played the part of the Albanian valet?
Were it Dirk Bogart?
It was James Mason. Two actors take a ride on a Ferris wheel in The Third Man. One is Orson Welles. Who is the other?
Oh, we played the other one in Citizen Kane.
His name?
And he tried to murder Marilyn Monroe at Niagara Falls. Joseph Cotton.
Correct. In the Howard Hawks film Scarface, who played Al Capone?
Edward G. Robinson.
I'm afraid it was Paul Muni.
Oh, what a
The character played by Anthony Perkins in Psycho has a certain hobby. What is it?
pass.
In the film Bonnie and Clyde, who played Bonnie?
Faye Dunaway.
Are you interested in all that? Oh, she got that
Well,
one.
not especially, no. Why?
Well, would you like to take us for a drink? Anywhere else will do.
What's wrong?
Well, it might stop me murdering somebody, that's all. Come on.
You have scored 7, Miss Lynch. You passed on 2. Birth of a Nation was made by D.W. Griffiths, and Anthony Perkins' hobby in Psycho was taxidermist. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, lovey, very good.
And your name, sir?
Herbert Siddle.
Answering questions on?
Manchester United.
Right. Beginning as from now. In what year did Manchester United first win the FA Cup?
1909.
Everybody knows that.
One time the team played home matches not at Old Trafford but at another ground. Where?
Main Road.
Listen to them hooligans. Who let them in?
Just something Emily told me.
What about?
About, well, you wouldn't believe how malicious some little people's minds can be. Do you remember when Doc Greenhouse was nicking that stuff from Miami Modes?
Yeah.
Do you remember who got caught for it?
It was you that nearly caught for it, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, guess who's dragging all that up again? Oh, come on, Len, let's go somewhere. Just drive anywhere.
Yeah, okay. It's a bit familiar, all this, isn't it?
And the winner of this semi-final, Herbert Siddle.
Thanks.
Was it? Oh, and to think we could have been going to the Isle of Man. Never mind, you did very well, lovey.
I did better than you think.
Congratulations, everybody. I thought you were all very good. I enjoyed it anyway. Very good idea of yours, Mrs. Walker.
Well, it was just a little brainwave I had. Would you care for a glass of sherry? I have some of my own.
Lead the way. If I manage to put her in a good mood, do you think you can get off early?
I'd have to have a splitting headache.
In which case, I'll have to drive you home.
Still on your birthday. It's so encouraging. What a nice present.
You know me, I never expected a bed of roses, but there's something you can do without.
She's been having a go at Gail, hasn't she?
But what about me? Look how long it took me finding this job.
Elsie, you're back in the street 5 minutes and you've already got a fight on your hands.
Isn't that typical? Come in. Oh. Rose return. Oh, it's you. Why not? A likely story. I'm not telling her. No. No, you'll tell her yourself. Look, I'm not your best flaming mate. Bet? Not for me, I presume, Elizabeth. No, it should have been. Why? It was Bet. Oh, what does she want? Says she's not coming in today.
Why not?
She's still got a sick headache.
Really, now, that girl, she gets more ailments than a class of infants.
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Think she's malingering?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Is it any wonder that the country is in the state it is today, when heads throb like dynamos at 8 o'clock in the morning, but never at 8 o'clock at night?
No, Mrs. Walker.
Do German heads throb with such regularity? Or French heads? Or Belgian?
Well, I've no idea.
But you're all right.
Fine.
Well, I suppose that's something.
Oh, what do you want?
Oh, let's have a bit of civility, as befits me status as a customer, not to mention my age.
Why should I be civil to you?
Huh?
Well, look, it was you that put it about the girl's been in trouble with the police for shoplifting. She's worried about getting the sack. Do you know that?
I wasn't talking about her.
Well, who were you talking about?
Oh, no names, no liable actions. But she knows who I meant, all right.
I've no alternative, have I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? The first person she thinks of is me. Hilda tells her she's got a thief on her staff and she comes straight to me. And she didn't give you the 3rd degree, did she? Oh, no, that's ridiculous. Never even occurred to her. I'm not saying Sylvia still suspects me, but wait till we're a pound short of something again one night. Or someone walks off with 3 pairs of jeans again. Then we'll see. No, I can't live with that. Wondering whether I'm honest or not. Because I am honest. Very honest. No, I've no alternative. I'll have to hand in my notice.
Gail.
What?
Come over here.
What?
It was me Hilda was talking about.
Eh?
Skeleton in me cupboard, one of the many.
You a shoplifter? Oh, I don't believe it. You're too open.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, love. But I once knew a church warden who fished pennies out of the offertory box. You should do it with a magnet on a piece of string. Don't take people too much on face value, love. Most people show a very different face to the world.
I still don't believe you're a shoplifter.
Well, I'm not.
What are you on about then?
Well, I was once accused of being.
In a court?
Yeah?
Were you fined?
No.
Well, there you are then.
Mud sticks, love, and I've got bits of it stuck all over me.
Makes no difference, I'm still packing it in.
Why?
Well, you're not daft enough to tell Sylvia all this, are you? She might give you the sack.
Well, that's a risk I'll have to take.
Don't be daft. Anyway, it doesn't alter my position. She still insulted me, even thinking Hilda meant me.
Gail, come off your pedestal. You look ridiculous. Sylvia is running a shop. There's more stuff nicked out of shops than there is from Wells Fargo. Look, she's got to be suspicious to stay in business. Look, you leave Sylvia to me. She's a very practical lady, whatever else she is. And manageresses as efficient as yours truly don't go on trees. So get on with your work, Miss Potter, before I thump you one.
Yes, Mrs. Howard.
I don't know whether to have a pint shandy or not. I'm as dry as a desert.
Well, please try to make your mind up quickly. After all, it's not a decision that's likely to change your whole life.
I think I'll have a pint. Shandy blows me up. Hey.
What?
What's up with Madam?
Oh, that's not turned in. She's hoping to go and buy a new pair of shoes.
So where's Fred then?
He's got his hand badly down to the hospital.
Damn, is it one of those days?
Yeah, you can say that again. Hey up, the human cyclone.
One pint, then. Try not to drink it with your usual fierce alacrity. I've only got 1 pair of hands, and at the moment I feel I've got no feet at all.
You know, Annie, it's a wonder to me that you keep a full pub. You can be very sarky at times, you can.
The hoi polloi don't mind being assaulted, you know. Not by a social superior. At least I am talking to them.
I'm off. I've left your custard tart and a cup of tea.
Oh, Ta. Hey, tell girl not to do anything daft, won't you?
Well, I'll clock her one if she does. Ta-ra. Oh, Mrs. Howard. Hilda. What? Oh, never mind. What's the point? It'd be like water off a duck's back. There's no you can do with natural ignorance except smother it. Well, at least I've never been had up in court for thieving. Ah.
Sorry, we're closed for dinner.
Oh, hey! I want it in a stew. Beaver Stan's dinner will be home in a minute. Come on, open this door. I'll report you if you don't. You can't just close a shop like that for such a thing as statute opening times, you know.
What's going to become of you, Potter? You're drifting, sunshine. Life's going by and it's leaving you behind. Another job up the spout. That's 2 in no time. And what can you do besides typing and shop assisting? Nothing. And there's not much chance of Justin de Villeneuve snapping you up. You're more tree than twig. And as for your face, different. You know, if you're not careful about the only thing you're going to be looking forward to soon is marriage. Oh, whatever happened to the Gale who was going to turn into an hurricane and end up chairman of the coal board? Hi.
Hello, kid. Haven't you been for your dinner yet?
I didn't feel like it, did I?
Oh, come on. Don't go moody on me. A moody kid I don't need, because I've had my share.
Sorry.
Has Madam been in yet?
No.
Oh, I don't know. If there was any justice, she'd be Elsie Howard and I'd be Sylvia Matthews. I don't know. I expect I've done 10 times as many women hours as she's done. I've never been off my feet. Talk about the dignity of labour. Do me a favour, the stupidity of labour. Oh, put the kettle on, kid, before I start to yell. Seem to be filling up a lot lately.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Howard. Business been brisk, I hope and trust. I've just bought myself a new car and something's got to pay for it.
By heck, she's got a nerve. That one has.
You notice she never spoke to me.
Oh, Gail, don't start that
well,
again.
she didn't. Oh, I'm packing it in. I'm not having her ignoring me.
Hang about. I'll go and see her about
Won't make
it.
any difference.
Just hang about, will you?
I got myself such a pretty dress at Margaret Reed's. Well, I thought if I've got a new car, I might as well live up to it. What do you think?
Very nice.
Isn't it? A snip at £54. I look marvellous in it. 20 years younger.
Sylvia.
Yes.
Gail's just been telling me that you've been asking her questions. Questions like, has she ever been in trouble with the police?
That's right.
Well, she's a little upset, not unnaturally.
Oh, I don't see why.
Well, she thought that you thought that Hilda Ogden was referring to her.
Well, she had to be referring to somebody. That's if she was speaking the truth. And Gail did come without references.
As a matter of fact, Hilda was referring to me.
Pardon?
I said she was referring to me. You see, she's a next-door neighbour of mine, and she knows all my business. She also knows that I was up in court once for shoplifting. She knows also that the case was dismissed, but she never mentions that. She's like that, you know.
Well, this is something of a shock, I don't mind telling you. I thought I was such a good judge of character.
I said the case was dismissed.
Why? On what grounds? Mrs. Howard?
Lack of evidence, but it doesn't really...
Lack of evidence, really. Well, I suppose you could say that of the dog who steals the weekend joint. He's usually eaten the evidence, hasn't he? But it doesn't actually prove him...
Well, go on, Sylvia.
Well, innocent, dear. I'm not saying that you weren't innocent, completely innocent.
Well, what are you saying, then?
That it was all very unfortunate for somebody in the trade to be accused of shoplifting. I mean, you must see that. It's embarrassing, to say the least.
Very well. I'll go now. I'll save you any further embarrassment. You can send me cards on.
Has she sacked you?
No, I've quit. I'll see you at home. And don't you go doing anything daft.
Never has liked me as that woman.
So you keep saying.
Ah, yeah, well, it's a guilty conscience, isn't it? I mean, you never do like folk while I've got your number and can see through you. Oh, and I've got her number, all right, no danger.
Who are you talking about?
Never you mind.
Well, I wish you'd go somewhere else and talk about them. Instead of standing there mumbling to yourself like old Mother Riley.
Look, you can't turn me out of this pub for talking to myself, Betty Turpin. Any road, I'd a lot sooner talk to myself than a lot of folk round here, you included.
Yes, well, wait till you want serving again. Perhaps you'll talk to me then.
Well, I can always make signs, can't I?
Ooh, do you know, I'll murder that woman.
What you call argumentative, isn't she?
Not what I call her.
That's what folks call me.
What?
Argumentative.
Yeah.
Look, I'm only sticking up for me rights.
You must admit you get a lot of folks' backs up doing it, Albert.
Anybody who sticks up for the rights is bound to, aren't they?
You're doing it now.
Doing what?
You're arguing.
Well, you started it.
I never did.
You did. You called me argumentative.
Well, she called it Hilda.
Oh, well, it were her who started it.
Oh,
then.
shut up, will you, pair of you? I've come in here for a quiet drink. And get all arguments I want with Mavis at shop.
Oh. Hey, Fred, you're back. Is it all right, lovey?
4 stitches.
Oh, you poor soul.
4 stitches is note.
Hey, how did you do it?
Cut it on a piece of broken bottle.
Ah, would you like me to kiss it better?
Yeah, if you like.
No, thanks. I can't stand smell of blood.
Pity. Is Mrs. Walker about?
Oh, she's retired to her boudoir. Limp with fatigue, according to her.
I'll go through and tell her I'm back.
Good.
Hey, he thought I meant it, didn't he? Kiss it better.
Yeah.
Can I have another light ale, please?
Oh, you spoke to me.
Only in the way of business, not in any social capacity.
Hey, have you seen the time? We should have been at Crawford's 10 minutes since.
That's one of the perks of being your own boss. You can be 10 minutes behind life generally.
That's why we don't make as much brass as we should.
No, but we're happy, aren't we? When did we last have a strike? Come on! Aye, chop chop, Bradshaw. Time for the coolie to get back to the plantation.
You don't let him talk to you like that, do you, Terry?
He can't help it, love. I'm his boss.
This is himself, that one.
No, I don't mean it. Oh, are you,
Elsie.
Well, nice to have seen you.
Mutual. And don't let it be as long next time. Get your hair cut.
Okie doke, Reen.
Hello.
Hey, it's nice to see a bit of sunshine, isn't it?
Mrs. Turpin,
Yes, Lovey, what do you want?
it's about the corner shop.
Oh, yes.
I might be interested in buying it.
Can you hang on a minute, Mr. Fairclough? Trisha! She won't be a minute.
Can't you serve me?
I'm getting ready for work. Trisha's running shop.
What's all the shouting about anybody that the till were on fire?
I'm not doing your job for you. I've got enough on my plate at Sylvia's.
Hey, do you mind having a row afterwards and serving me first?
I'm sorry, Mr. Fairclough. You see, some people are a bit bad-tempered in the morning.
And I'm one of them, especially before I've had a shave.
Well, you should have a shave before you come out.
That's what I've come here for. I want a packet of blades.
Wouldn't have killed you, would it?
I told you I'm not doing your work for you. I'm going to be stocking that shop on my own now Elsie's packed it in.
Elsie's packed it in. What are you talking about?
Oh, hadn't you heard? She walked out yesterday. Told Mrs. Matthews she could stick a job.
You sure she walked out? They didn't give her the sack.
She didn't get the chance. Mrs. Matthews was going on about Elsie and shoplifting. Elsie just blew her top.
Yes, but she would have got the sack anyway, wouldn't she? I mean, it stands to reason if she found out Elsie had been done for shoplifting.
Don't let me hear you saying that again. Elsie Tanner was never done for shoplifting.
Yeah, well, I know she got off with it when it came to court.
And do you know that somebody else confessed to it?
No, I didn't know
I
that.
don't suppose you know it either.
No, first I've heard of it.
Look, it's no good going on at us, Mr. Fairclough. I mean, it's all ancient history as far as we're concerned.
If you're going to talk about it at all, get it right, will you? Elsie Tanner was accused of shoplifting. She was found not guilty. Somebody else confessed to it. Now, have you got that straight?
Who confessed?
I'm not saying it was a long time ago. But I can tell you something. It was nobody from round here.
What else should have told Mrs. Matthews all that?
Yeah, why didn't she stick up for herself?
Oh, she did that all right too much. Flew right off the handle.
She would, wouldn't she? How much?
Pardon?
The razor blades, how much?
Oh, 23 pence, please.
Must be right what they say about him and Elsie. You know, being old flames. He got mad enough when you said Elsie might be mixed up in something.
You'll be mixed up in something if you don't get your skates on. Like the sack, it's 5 to 9.
Oh, yeah. See ya.
Tricia, this is Reenie Bradshaw. You know, Terry's sister.
Yeah, no, we've already met.
But you have to have that jungle music on. You can't hear yourself think. Oh, get off. Look, like I was saying, Reenie wants to buy the shop.
Hang on. I said I was interested. I might buy it, but then again I might not.
Well, it could go a lot farther and fair worse. You know, it's always been a good little shop.
I know it's been a good little shop, but it's what it is now that matters, isn't it? I mean, times have changed. Look at all the property they're pulling down around here. I mean, they put people out onto housing estate and your trade scatters to the four winds.
Yeah, but they are building masonettes and flats again, you know? I mean, it's all coming back.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Places like this have been little gold mines in the time. Little gold mines.
Oh, yes, they have. Yeah.
But you see, gold mines have a habit of running out, and little uns sooner than big uns.
There's plenty of trade round here. I mean, the shop just was building up and running proper, you know.
Oh, thanks very much, I'm sure.
Oh, but the customs here, definitely.
Well, where is it? I mean, at the supermarket where I work, we'd be doing a burster now. I'd be moored out. Is this the early morning rush, then?
Morning, Mr. Tatlock.
Good morning. I'll come back when you're not so busy.
Are you on your own, Gail?
Yes, Mrs. Matthews.
Mrs. Howard hasn't turned in, then? Well, I can't say I'm surprised after yesterday's exhibition. If she had come in, I was going to give her her cards. You can give them to her. You'll be seeing her, won't you?
Mrs. Matthews, I don't want you to think I'm intruding or anything, but I know all about that shoplifting business.
So do I, dear. Mrs. Howard told me so herself.
Yes, but not everything.
I'm aware that she wasn't convicted, but only because of lack of evidence. Her own word.
But someone who worked at the shop owned up to it later. It turned out that Elsie had nothing to do with it.
Did she tell you this?
No, Mr. Fairclough. And he's a counsellor, so he should know what he's talking about.
Why on earth didn't Mrs. Howard tell me this yesterday? If she'd explained, there'd have been no need for any unpleasantness. Not that there was any on my side.
I'm sure she'd like to go on working here, Mrs. Matthews.
She should have thought of that before she lost her temper. She was quite rude to me.
Yes, she is a bit hot-headed. Mr. Fairclough said that.
Well, I'm certainly not going to go running after her. Now, come on, Gail, don't just stand about. While the shop's quiet, you should be keeping the place tidy. Look at these blouses. It's like a rummage sale in here.
All right, don't say it. Your face says it for you. You think I've done myself one in the eye, don't you?
I think I know. And so will you when you try and find another job. You know what it's like trying to find work nowadays, like drilling for oil in the Park Lake.
Trouble is, I like that job, except for her bossy little ways.
Well, why the hell didn't you tell her she was barking up the wrong tree? You could have explained things to her quite simply, without blowing your top.
Oh, no, it's not that easy. You don't know what it's like when you try to explain to somebody that you once had up in court for something you didn't do. And then you try to explain that your case was dismissed and you were found not guilty. And then you pause to take a breath, and you can tell by the look in their eyes they don't believe a flaming word of what you've said. You see their nasty minds ticking over like fruit machines. Click, click, click. Oh, yes, there's no smoke without fire. She was lucky she got away with it this time.
Hey, are you doing it again? You're working yourself up again, aren't you?
You asked me why I didn't explain to her, and I'm telling you why. And I'll tell you something else as well. I've done too much explaining too many times, and I don't like it. And I am never going to do it again.
That's it, then. End of job.
Well, I'm sorry I lost my temper, but I'm not going to crawling back there and beg for my job back. Flaming Hilda Ogden. She's opened her mouth a bit too far this once. Start up.
Hello, love. What's your fancy? If I told you, you'd be shocked. If you're talking about a drink, go on. I'll go mad. I'll have a lager and lime.
Hey, I'll pay for that, Betty. Put your money away, love. That's on me.
It's all right for some, isn't it? I wish I'd got a bloke busted to get his hand in his pocket every time I was thirsty.
How'd you do it? Ah, it's this new scent I'm wearing. You've heard of Evening in Paris?
Yeah.
Well, this is Midnight in Macclesfield. Hey, seriously, I don't know what I'm going to do about him. Getting a bit embarrassing.
Oh, go on, you know you like it. You wouldn't encourage him if you didn't.
Betty, I have given Fred G about as much encouragement as I give to mice. If he don't leave off, I'm going to have to put traps down.
Oh, dear.
Have a light out, please.
Yes, in a sec.
Oh, take your time. You usually do. Excuse me a minute.
Hold your coat.
I want a word with you.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I believe you said one or two things about me to Mrs. Matthews.
I don't know any Mrs. Matthews.
The woman that owns Sylvia's shop. You know who I mean.
Oh, her. Yeah, well, what about her?
Yeah. Well, I'd like you to say to my face what you said to her about me.
I don't know what you mean. I've got better things to do than go around talking about you.
She told me that you said to her that she was employing a shoplifter.
Oh, no, definitely not. She's got it all wrong.
Oh, well, in that case, perhaps you wouldn't mind going down to that shop with me and repeating what you said in front of me.
I'll do no such thing.
Because you're a liar, that's why.
Now, don't you go browbeating me, Elsie Tanner. If I did say anything to that woman, I didn't say no more than the truth.
You and your evil tongue, you want locking up and the key throwing away. You've lost me my job, you have.
Well, that's your hard luck.
I thought I heard voices. I hope you ladies are not having an altercation.
And just what do you mean by that, Hilda?
Well, there's your dentist for one, if we're talking about folk wanting locking up.
Please.
It's very obvious to me when he learns his habits.
What are you saying? I could swing for you, Hilda.
Yeah, I know.
Ladies, please, if you want to have a fight in here, give us a few days' notice. We'll get some tickets printed. Now, meanwhile, you're frightening the gentlemen, so please calm down and try to contain yourselves.
All right. I've said all I've had to say to her. And I'll tell you something else. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole.
You know, you want to be careful what you say, Elsie Tanner. Your tongue will get you into trouble one of these days.